Hello, hello, hey everybody, it's Haja Scott. It's Haja Scott with Of Lace and Grace Ministries, Of Lace and Grace TV, aka Of Lace and Grace Ministries. I just had a quick happy Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. I hope y'all are well. I hope your Monday is starting off well. I hope that your week is starting off well and everything else. So I just got a quick little message for some people out there who God has been talking to about the appointed time. A window of opportunity coming and the appointed time coming. This is something that he spoke in the beginning of the, hey, welcome in, Vontae Williams. Hey, welcome in. A quick message for those who God has been talking to about the appointed time. So there was a time where he was warning us and he was saying, come on, get your stuff together. The appointed time is coming. There's a window of opportunity. Are you ready? Are you ready for the new season? Are you ready for the new assignment? Are you ready for the new task? And God will give us those little inklings. He'll give us those warnings. It's like, okay, silent, alarms going off, sirens going off, and then the second round and third round, we got to be ready. And so with that, there's something that I received this morning. And so welcome in, Alex. What's up? Alex Bennett, welcome in. We're talking about being ready for the new thing, the new season, the appointed time, the Kairos time that God has on his calendar for his release of our promise, or releasing us into that. But there are instructions and there are things that God is prompting us to make sure that we have in line, to make sure that we have checked, to make sure we have done, to make sure that these things have been closed and we're actually ready to move into the new, and that there aren't strings and old things that can pull us back or cause us not to actually be ready to move into the fulfillment of the promise. And so with that, one of the things that came to me this morning, y'all, and I'm going to tell you this quick story, was not being able to really let go of the old. So we say that, we say that in word, in our heart, we say that, no, I'm ready for the new, I can let go of the old. I'm closing the door. But it's a difference between just saying that and we're actually living that. Because it's in theory, we can say that. In theory, we can say I've let go. We can say our heart has let go. We can say our minds have let go, whatever. But then if we're not walking that out, this is the part that God is talking about, the practical part. If we're not actually doing, if we're not actually taking the steps, then it's just lip service. We're just speaking what we know to do, but we're not doing it. So here's the story. And put it in perspective. I had a pair of house shoes, like they were very nice, like house slippers or whatever, but they're like the shoes, like the booties that go all the way around, like little shoes or whatever, and they were like sequins, and they were really, really nice. Okay, so I love these. These are my house shoes I wore, but I had them for a long time and I never used them. I think somebody gave them to me as a gift. I never used them. And so time came and I decided to use them, because I was like, man, I need to start using my stuff. That's something God was talking to me about. Like, you start using your stuff. Like, they're going to disintegrate. You're not going to be able to use this stuff in a while. Use your stuff. Stop holding and saving everything. But that's another lesson in itself. And so I started using them. And the time period when I was using them happened to be a really rough time that I was going through. It wasn't about the house shoes. It's just what I was going through in life. This happened to be the same time that I was using these house shoes. And so as I went through this season of life of loss and difficulty and challenges, when you go through loss, you tend to kind of like, I need to grab onto everything, you're trying to hold on to any little thing that's significant to you because you have purged so much. There's so much that has been lost. There's so much that has been taken away. There's so much that just can't go with you and couldn't go with you into whatever God was calling you to next, whatever your next step, your next phase was. They're just things that can't go. And so these house shoes just happened to be what I was using during this period of time. and they were nice and I loved them and everything else. But here recently, I was like, they were starting to look a little ratty because I was washing them. They're kind of like the ones that are soft on the bottom and everything. So I was like washing them, and using them and all this other stuff, right? And then I was like, I think I'm going to go ahead and get another pair, and they were like really nice, and I didn't want to spend a lot of money on them and all this other stuff. Sometimes again, money's tight, depending on where you are. When you're in a challenging situation, it might not just be of loss. It could be of transition, or where there's times where there were just lean times you couldn't even afford, certain things. So things that are significant in your mind as times that you've gone through, it's kind of traumatic sometimes. And so finally I was like, I'm gonna get some more. Let me get some other ones. I ordered some and I got them and everything. And they came in. I was all excited and everything. And then, but I was still trying to wear these old ones. And I had washed them and I was ready to use them. And I looked and there was a hole in the bottom. There was a hole in the bottom of the house shoes. Like, because I have been wearing them apparently so much, like socks. You get a hole in it. And I heard God say, they're not serving you anymore. It's not serving its purpose. If you're going to start, the whole point is to wear something as a barrier to like what you're walking on. But then if you start walking in, and it's not just one hole. It was one small hole that I saw first. And then when I went and I washed them, I saw there's a bigger hole in there, So at that point, it's not a barrier anymore. I could walk on something wet or something cold or whatever, and I could feel that, it's supposed to be a barrier against whatever surface you're walking on. But if the shoes have a hole in them, then they're not really serving their purpose. So though you use them in a season, and though they were vital in a season, and though they were important to you, they were necessary. I'll even say, even though they're house shoes, but they were necessary for where you were. Right now, they've worn out their ability to serve you. Now you've got to move on. You've got to move on past this. And it doesn't mean that they weren't great. It doesn't mean that they're not cute. It doesn't mean that they didn't look good when you wore them. It doesn't mean that they weren't significant. It doesn't mean it wasn't helpful. It just means that the time period that item was supposed to serve, it served. And now it's done. And so not only is it done, but a replacement has already been sent to you. You've already received the replacement. So why are you still having thoughts of, oh yeah, I want to wear my new stuff. I want to wear my new shoes. I want to use the new. I want to walk in the new. I want to, I want this, God. But I also don't know that I want to throw away those old ones, because that was the thought this morning. Oh, but what if? What if all the time? Well, what if what? What if what? The other ones stop working, the other ones get a hole in them? So then another will be provided for you. We do that, and we kind of like have that backup, like, oh, I need to have this just in case. Or I just need to have it as a memento. Or, the pack rat in some people, some of us, like when you gotta let a lot of stuff go. There are things that you learn where you can't just keep everything, But this is really more about it being hard to let go of some things, or you have to intentionally see the purpose in what something was, it served, and that it's no longer there anymore, and so you're going to let it go. This is really more about that than anything else, because the new things are here. The new opportunities are here. The new alignments are here. The new doors are open, but they are waiting for you to utilize them. They're waiting for you to use them. They're waiting for you to let go and stop holding on to the old thing and depending on the old thing and keeping the old thing in your back pocket. Or just decide, I'm just going to keep using these. I'll put some socks on. And what kind of defeats the purpose? Now you got to fix it up to use the old thing. It's old for a reason. Biblically, we've talked about that. You cannot put new wine in old wineskins. For that very reason, just like my house shoes, they will burst. They're old, they're tattered, and they're worn. They're not in a place to be able to contain the new, which is rich and vibrant and heavy and everything. The old is going to tear. It's not useful anymore. And the thing that God was reminding me of, and this is from another message that I think it was the message and scene that God had me do, is not that they weren't useful. It's not that they weren't vital. It's not like this isn't something that he actually used for our good in that season. He's just saying that season is over. And there are certain things that are tied to an old season that cannot go in the new season. And he's not just saying they can't go because I don't want you to take these things. They don't have what it takes to operate in the new season because they were built and made to operate in the previous season. But if you try to drag them out into something else, their useful life would have worn out, like the shoe. Its useful life just wore out. That's all it was. It wasn't bad. And so the other thing is, you will never fully step into the new thing. You will never fully step into the new shoes. Never fully step into the new shoes that God is calling you to step into if you do not let go of the old thing, of the old shoes, in my case, of the old thing that you are walking in. So this is just a little encouragement and a reminder to us that the promises of God are coming forth. Windows of opportunity are coming forth. And we have to be ready to take them, because sometimes if we're sitting in an old place, still holding on to old things, still thinking, okay, this is kind of the way, I got to still operate in this old way. I got to hold on to every little thing because I didn't have before. And so now I just got to make sure in case anything happens. God's saying there's provision that's also tied to the new. There's provision that's tied to new, but you got to walk into it to receive and to be able to take hold of and to utilize that which has been sitting ready and waiting for you. So that's my message for today, you guys. In moving forward, in listening to the instructions for moving forward into the new things and the new steps and the new arenas, and even if it's one new step that God has for us, part of that is taking off those old shoes, leaving them in the old season so that you can put on the new shoes and walk in the new. All right? Y'all have a good rest of your week. Have a good rest of your day. And hopefully I will see you guys again soon. Remember, the new is here. Take off the old shoes. Leave them in the old. Leave them in the past. Put on the new shoes so you can walk in the new. All right? I will talk to you again soon. Y'all have a blessed day.